guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. This is from a guy. He is in his 30s. He's self-employed, does very well for himself, and he's reaching out to me because he's having some trouble with his current girlfriend. And he's in the situation where things have gone a complete 180 with her, and I was looking for my advice because definitely things just aren't adding up. And he's going to go into this story how pretty much when he first met her, he met her on Tinder of all places, which certainly has its own red flags. And even he'll admit that obviously there was something a little off, which is why he didn't go pursue her or start seeing her right away. But eventually he did. And in the beginning, everything was a blast. He was traveling around the world with her because the dude's got money, having a blast, having fun. Obviously lots of hooking up. And you're going to see, guys, that obviously as time goes on, he gets more and more into her. Now, he sent me some pictures of her, the two of them together, and I'm not going to deny it. She's a hottie. I mean, she's definitely, in my opinion, a 9. Okay, he's in his 30s. She looks like she's probably in her mid-20s, something like that. Blonde, blue-eyed, good body. I mean, he didn't hide it in the pictures. So for a lot of guys, that's very hard to pass up. But you're going to see in this story, guys, he's definitely when things were going really well, she was treating him like the king and all that. Well, things have taken a big 180 now, and now he's essentially getting treated like a peasant and being jerked around. There's all this suspicious activity. So he reached out to me to lay out his story, hoping to hear my opinion on the subject. Because I read his story a couple times, and I could definitely see where things went wrong. Now, this obviously sounds more like along the lines of a relationship type of video. And normally I don't do those types of things, but I really wanted to help this guy out. He sounds like a cool guy, so I want to give my opinion on this and help him get back to a better place because obviously I don't like where he is in right now, and he doesn't either. So it starts off, it says, Hi SSM, I have an interesting story for you filled with pictures and videos. I met this girl off Tinder about a year ago, and she was really, really hot. She was blonde, blue-eyed, and skinny. She seemed too good to be true. Well, pay attention to that when things seem too good to be true, bro. And I got to point out that you met her on Tinder. Now, to be fair here, you were on Tinder too. But got to watch out for those. He says, I was already kind of seeing somebody hot at the time, but this one was much better. See? Something struck me as odd, so I didn't go for it. See? There were red flags about her. You couldn't quite put your finger on it, but there's something off. Trust your gut, guys. The problem is, as he described here, she's hot. And he described her as hotter than the girl he was currently seeing. And like I said, he sent me a couple pictures of her. And like I said, definitely a 9. But there's something in that picture that told me, red flag. In fact, and I'm sure this guy's obviously going to watch this video, she even has this tattoo on her ankle. I'm not going to reveal what it is or too many details, but let's just say that tattoo reveals a lot. And if he's watching, he knows what I'm talking about. Anyhow, he says, meanwhile, I broke it up with the girl that I was with, and I started traveling the world. I went to Dubai, Mexico, Costa Rica, and had the time of my life. That's sweet, bro. I'm a fellow traveler. I haven't been to Dubai, but I've heard it's pretty cool. So I hope you had a good time. Been to Mexico, been to Costa Rica. All along, the super hot girl was following my social media and seeing it all. I kind of knew deep down that we were going to hook up when I got back. When we started dating, I was very, as he says here, RP aware, and I thought I held frame very, very well. Well, you're going to see here, he obviously was very RP aware and stayed in his frame, but over time, when a guy gets a really hot girl, and she's a freak in the sack and all that, over time, slowly, the guy he was that attracted her in the first place, the masculine frame, if you will, the RP awareness, starts to slowly whittle down. And next thing you know, you're like, what the hell happened to the guy I was? Which is kind of what happens here. I brought her along all my adventures. We went to Mexico, then went to Hawaii, and a bunch of other cool exotic places. She watched me buy 2 exotic cars. One of them was extremely expensive. Everything seems to be good to go. She seemed like a ride-or-die girl. Until she wasn't. Question about those 2 expensive cars. Did you buy those expensive cars because you wanted them? Or did it happen to coincide with you bought them, but also trying to impress her a little bit? I have to bring that up. I'm self-employed and well off. I spent a lot of time trading crypto, and I recently started a new online business. A lot of my time was very preoccupied. I'm laser focused on a goal, and I become obsessed with it. I wasn't spending much time caring for her emotional needs, so she says. So this guy started a new business, and any guy who starts a new business, or any guy watching this that is running a business, knows you have to be completely focused on it. Right there he said, laser-like focus, obsessed with it. Yes, you want to be successful? That has got to be literally the first thing you think about when you wake up in the morning, and the last thing you think about when you go to bed. And all day long, while you're doing other stuff, it's still in the back of your mind. YouTube and what I do here is always on my mind, but in a good way. I'm always thinking about things I'm going to do, because I read stories all throughout the day, guys, that you guys send me, or articles, and I kind of get an idea what I'm going to talk about and things like that, and other ideas I have for this business going forward. I got a lot of things coming up in 2022 you guys are definitely going to like, but I'll get to that later. Gotta be obsessed. The problem is, if you're in a relationship and your girl is used to having a certain amount of your attention, and all of a sudden now you're pulling back and focusing on your purpose, she's not gonna like it very much, especially if the girl is needy. And so right here, she claimed to him that she's not paying attention to her emotional needs. That's when they start acting out. That's when things start going wrong. But a guy cannot go off his purpose. That's the most important thing. Women come dead last. And if that means you're going to lose her, so be it. Because, believe me, a man on his purpose, a man that is doing well for himself, he can replace a girl like that. But I know what it's like to be with a chick who's hot and you have a good time with and you think is the one, and you don't want to mess it up. But you're going to start to see where he starts making her his purpose and stops having the RP mindset, RP frame, if you will, masculine frame, whatever you want to call it, and watch what happens to her. Now listen to this. Recently, she was begging me to move in with her. I said no. Good. You should have stuck with that. She had just built a brand new house, and I live out of town, which makes the commute kind of annoying. She used to come over after work. She would drive 45 minutes just to have you-know-what with me. That, my friend, is the good place to be. She's chasing after you. That's how it always should be, because you're going to be in the best position, and you're going to get the royalty treatment. When women see guys a prize, they're going to make the effort. They're going to chase after them. When she doesn't see him a prize, she won't do that. And when the guy starts doing what she does, starts chasing after her and making her the priority and sacrificing his wants and needs for her, that turns women off. So far this guy's doing so good. He's doing well with her. Unfortunately, things start going downhill. Then the roles reversed. Ding, ding, ding. And I was going over there because she built a brand new house. She was saying that I should move in, and I resisted for a long time. But I made the mistake of moving in with her. Big mistake, dude. Okay, fine. It's a 45-minute haul for her to get to your place, or you get to her place, or whatever. Doesn't mean you got to see her every day, and even on weekends or whatever. Okay, but first of all, moving in with her after what sounds like you've been dating that long is a huge mistake. I've done videos. If you watch my channel enough times, you probably see me talk about the dangers of moving with your girl and how things can be great beforehand, and they usually are. Then you move in together, and things slowly, or sometimes if not right away, go to hell in a handbasket. But a lot of people go in with high hopes, and it turns into a total mess. But worse yet, this guy doesn't just agree to move in with her. You're going to see he moves in at her place. He's going to her. He's now chasing after her. He's in a submissive position. Not a good place to be. And again, by taking a look at the pictures he sent me of him and her, and taking one look at her, a girl like that is never going to be attracted to a guy that chases her. Never. I decided that I needed to get rid of all my stuff, but it was a pain to try to sell it online. So I gave most of my stuff to charity to a buddy who just recently got a divorce. That way I can write off for my taxes, since I'm paying quite a bit. Listen to this. She did not help at all during the moving process, which is really weird because she was always so ride or die. So already she's losing interest in you. She's backing away. She finally got you to cave to move in with her. And worse yet, to not just move in together, but move into her place. You're going to her, and you're getting rid of all your personal belongings to do so. She's got you by the balls, essentially, because all your stuff's gone. See what I'm talking about, bro? If you were going to move in together, not that I would recommend it, but if you were, it should have been her coming to you, regardless if she already had her own house. Now, the old you, when you first started dating her, never would have done this. You never would have moved in with her, let alone go to her place or sold all your shit. You would have told her, okay, you can come be with me or nothing, because you wouldn't care, but now you care. That's what I see is going on. You stop being the guy that she initially was attracted to, okay? This is what, like a lot of guys when they start getting really into a girl. That the beautiful face, the smoking body, the sex starts to make them become soft. Anyhow, he said, family came in clutch at the end and helped me do the final cleanup and things like that. I was renting acreage in the market for buying a house. I had to make a decision if I'm going to buy a house or give it a chance with this girl who just built one. I chose to move in with her. Bad idea. You stop being a challenge. You stop being that guy that she was chasing after and was so hot for. See what I'm talking about? It's these type of things. I noticed her being very distant and weird, but she had been taking extra hours at work to try and make money for our next adventure possible. I figured that she was just cranking on her period. If she's being distant and weird, it's because she's not as into you. That's why. And she probably, and to be perfectly honest, it's a possibility she doesn't even know why either. Because a lot of women don't get it. They say they want one thing from a guy to behave in a certain way, and when the guy does it, it turns them off because they don't get it. Because in here they think it should be a certain way, but then emotionally, they're turned off. So I'm absolutely convinced you stopped being the guy that she was attracted to initially, and by you going to her in a submissive role, turned off because she wants a strong alpha male that you really are inside, but you turned off for a while. Now things get worse. He says, then one night when we were watching TV, she dropped the bomb on me that she doesn't want me to live here anymore, and she's having second thoughts. Nice of her to do this after you sold all your stuff, got rid of your place, and moved all your stuff to her. She's turned off. This, my friend, will be the time to end it and move on. Because you don't need this indecisive, wishy-washy, roller coaster emotions crap in your life. Remember whose idea it was to move in together. Remember whose idea it was for you to move in. Hers. And now she's like, I'm not sure. I'm confused. She told me that she felt like she was always put last. That everything is more important than her. Bullshit. She's turned off because you're acting different, but she's trying to twist it around and make you to be the bad guy here, because if she's referring to you focusing, your laser-like focus on your new business, that's an excuse, which you have to be successful, and I'm sure you're aware of this. I don't clean. I expect her to do the dishes and things like that. She said she wanted to tell me before I didn't have anywhere to go. I was extremely mad because I don't have anything. I got a hot air mattress and I got my old place back. She was saying that she still wants to be together. She just doesn't want to live together. Oh, no. After this, after what you did to go to do what she said she wanted to move in together, no. In my opinion, it's over. Okay? You had fun with her. You got to have fun with that hot little body for a while and all that. But no, it's done. We're going to work on this. I took the leap moving in together. We're going to work on this or we're done. You got 5 seconds to decide. And you can count. Not cool. Sounds to me that at this point, because obviously she's been backing away from you as you described, both physically and probably emotionally and mentally, she's probably starting to look for other options. And probably wants her cake and eat it too. Well, you can move out and she'll get to have you when she wants to. But she can also be free to find somebody else that probably, for her, is more like the guy you were initially. See what I mean? I could be wrong here, but my gut and a lifetime of experience and doing this for a while is telling me this. But because she put me in such a precarious situation, I told her I need to think about it if I ever want to be with her at all. Hey, you're in that right. A few days go by and we have talked a little bit and it seemed like maybe we could work this out. But this morning, I looked at our Ring cameras and some guy came over at 11 p.m. and left at 4:30 in the morning. Oh, how interesting. What was I just saying? That she's probably looking for other options. She works a night shift, so she said it's just a friend. And technically her day. Now all they did was talk about me and watch movies. Yeah, sure. That's what they always say. It's just a friend, and we just talked. Yeah, I'm sure that guy really went over there at 11:30 at night to 4:30 in the morning to just talk. Of course. She could have let him in through the garage, and I wouldn't have ever known because the cameras are in the front and the rear of the property. The door is recessed a little bit. I tell her that we're done and to please set my TV out in the garage, and I'll come get it when I have permission. A lot of her friends are police, and she's in law enforcement field. The last thing I want to do is get in trouble. Also, her last boyfriend she filed charges on, so I'm treading softly. Oh, great. So we're going to go back to when you first met her on Tinder, and you didn't see her right away because you sensed something was up. There you go. Remember, brother, the hot crazy scale, or the crazy hot scale, whatever they want to call it. I think we got something like here. I told her that even if it was just a friend, it was a really bad decision to have him come over at that time. Exactly. That I was serious and I wanted to break up, but she would not accept it. She said she will refuse to accept this. It's not like you're married. I refuse to get a divorce. Well, that's a different ballgame because there's all that legal issues there. But when you're together, you can break up just like that. I asked who he was, and she said that it was just a friend, and he has a girlfriend, and she knows that he's there. Sure. So I asked for his name. No name. She said I was just being immature and childish. Twisting around, making you to be the bad guy here. You have every right to have issue with many things here. Absolute lie. It's an absolute lie, don't you think, SSM? Yes. What should I do? I'm going to go for a while next week. I'll just lick my wounds there. I've attached some pictures and some videos. Please don't share. Thanks, SSM. I can't wait to hear your video because I'm losing my mind. My head is so messed up right now. Okay, bro. Yes, I agree with you. Your assessment that dude. No, it's not just a friend coming over to talk about freaking the Bachelor, the Bachelorette. This isn't like her buddy that she goes to. This is something else. And you know what? Even if it wasn't, devil's advocate, it's still disrespectful, especially given how things are. But the fact, like going back to the whole thing, my opinion, I think the way things took a giant 180 is because essentially you stopped being the guy that she was initially attracted to, the guy that she had to obviously chase after, and it wasn't so easy. You didn't go after her right away when you obviously connected on Tinder, and a girl like that, I'm sure is always having guys chasing after them and dropping everything what they're doing to get her. You didn't. You took your time because you weren't so sure about her. You had to think about your options as any high-value guy would. So obviously attracted her to you. And you obviously are an ambitious guy. You're interesting because you like to travel the world. You got cool toys like your cars you have. I saw your YouTube video that you attached to your channel and some of your cars. Very cool, I might add. So you're an interesting guy and fun and all that. And she obviously, she liked it about you. But then obviously at some point there started to be a shift. And she kept trying to get you to move in with her. Finally, not only did you move in with her, but you went to her place. And a guy like you in the beginning, in my opinion, would never have done that. So those were things that were turning her off. And she used the whole, you're not helping with the dishes or cleaning or cooking or focused on other areas like your purpose as an excuse to get rid of you. But I think at that point she started probably not even getting why she's acting the way she did. And there we go. And then there's the whole crap, I want to be together, but I want you living with me crap. I say it's over, it's done, and you can learn a very important lesson here is to never go off from the true person who you were. I think you probably got, in some degree, a little pee-whipped here, if we're being honest with ourselves, and stopped being the guy you were in the beginning, and it turned her off. Because I think, from what you described, the you in the beginning would never have sold all your shit and moved into her place. Because she calls the shot at that point because it's her house. See what I mean? If you're going to move in together, and I agree with it, she should have come to your place. And you're still in the position of strength. That's what I'm trying to say. So, bro, I would move on from this. Okay? It sucks. But you know what? You're a guy on your purpose. You do well for yourself. I'm sure you have no problem moving on and finding someone to replace her. And you learn a lesson. You learn a lesson of don't go out of that frame. Stick to who you are. Don't let yourself get pee-whipped. And for God's sakes, don't be the one in the relationship to become the submissive, the one that goes to them. Because gals like that don't want the guy to be like. They want the guy they look up to. And the guy has a challenge, okay? You could have had her trying to bug you to move in with her forever, and she would have kept doing it because the second you give into it, where's the challenge anymore? You moved in with her, she got you. So that's what I think. But all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below and just think about this. I know this is more on the relationship side, but I think it's important to throw those out there once in a while because you guys, a lot of you guys watch me do relationships, whether you want to admit it or not. And a lot of guys get a little pee-whipped sometimes by the hot girl that they're not used to having, or at least something about her does it, and you stop being that same guy you were. You got to always maintain the frame. You always got to be the same guy you always were when you first started dating, or 10 years later if you do a long-term relationship. Don't ever stop being who you are. Otherwise, this type of thing is likely to happen. So, all right, guys, and be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.